All right. Y'all two can hear me, right? Can y'all hear me? Because I brought y'all to the stage.
Have I been? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay,
Oh,
now
okay.
I'm going back to make sure we still live on everything. Yeah, we should be live on everything now.
Okay.
So tag your people, and I'm getting ready to. And it should have started back where we were. So, because I didn't, I just started back. I'm waiting on Austin now. Um, Let me text him. He said the link. So everybody else in here, let me find him. Yeah. Okay, he should be joining. Okay, now let me go here and switch it. Okay, there he goes. So let me put the original back up. Well, he was.
Okay, my
All right,
phone
I see
acting
AJ, I
really
see
trippy.
Anthony, me, and now we waiting on Austin. Okay. Um, Telling him to try again. Yeah, they switched their format out on me, and I started trying to come on here last minute. I got two links to go live. One hooked up to everything, and one not hooked up to nothing. So, all right, there go. Okay, here we go. I think that's all of us. All right, now. All right, now let me. I'll be sharing it while. Let me go back to Austin page to see if it's showing. Hold on. George dropped off. Okay, we lost George. Okay. It's back on. It's back on everybody page now too. I think. Hold on. Austin. Yeah. Okay. All right. We back going. Here we go. All right. Now. I'm like Drake. What did I miss? Okay. Um. Now y'all were talking about the definition of man of the house. This is the definition of man of the house. Even though it's been tweaked and twerked, but it's a male family member who has the most responsibility for taking care of and making decisions about the household. And the reason, like they say from back in the day, that that was what it was, because like y'all say, the man was going out and bringing home the bacon. Mama cooked it, but where does that lead now? You know, where does it go now?
Yeah, we had that conversation going on, and Anthony was going to. She was in the middle of providing some information from her point of view, and then so now we also have to bring in non-traditional families, right? Because so again, that definition is kind of maybe outdated because you don't
Mm,
always have a male
no,
in the
not
household
really,
anymore.
because the definition is the definition. So it's saying what he is. You know what I'm saying? What was considered that. The man of the house is the male member who has the most responsibility of taking care of and making decisions about the household. That's what that definition is. So if somebody say, what's the definition of the president, commander in chief? That's still the definition. Now, whether we have woman of the house now, whether you know, but that was and is, you know, the definition of what man of the house is, you know.
Yeah.
Then, but
well, I mean, we can go with that narrative, but you know,
no, definition is a definition now. Blue
no,
gonna always
because
be
it
blue.
can change
Well, what we
because
saying is the definition of a man varies.
The definition of a man varies, but if you say a hard-working man, that's a man that's dedicated to his work. He goes blood, sweat, and tears. That's hard-working man. So do the definition of a hard-working man change also?
Yeah, because now some women consider themselves men.
No. But they wasn't born of man. I'm saying
if they get their sex
a man can play a man.
Hell, it's being considered themselves to be women.
I understand that, but I'm saying, realistically speaking, does the definition of a
But no, I get what DJ Black is saying. The definition of something cannot change.
Right.
Whether the definition of a specific thing,
whether
thing
the
cannot
act,
change.
Whether the act or the duty or responsibility or you know, that may change, but the definition of hard work, even if a woman consider herself a man, she has to fit in that man's role to be man.
She have to do what is the definition of the thing.
I like Anthony. I like Lord.
Don't let her fool you. She ain't that smart. She
okay. But I like her. Yeah, that's because she completes what I'm trying to say.
The definition of hater. It says James Austin right there. Look up the definition of hater.
You guys are crazy, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That the definition. Now, whether time go on and we tweak that definition, you know, and like y'all say, women consider themselves men. They still have to consider themselves a man to be considered man of the house, you know.
But it's not a male.
Right.
Anyway, that's tomato, tomato. That's tomato, tomato. Let's keep it moving.
Okay.
But yeah,
do we want a man or male of the house? Whether it's a woman or a man, do we want a man of the house in our house?
Right.
But do you? Again, we were going back to. I was trying to demonstrate Anthony's definition of a man versus AJ's definition of a man.
Okay, now that we're live on all platforms, start that over. Let me get a recap because I missed it.
Oh man, we said a lot in that. To be honest,
in that little 3 minutes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we went down. We went
surgical. We held it down. We went down a little rabbit hole.
We sure did.
We went surgical deep in it. So, but but Anthony, if you can go ahead and provide what your definition of a man is, and then AJ, if you could do the same thing. Then
they doing man, not man of the house. They doing what
they
the
just doing
definition
of a man.
Okay.
I know, right?
Because it's
you
just
should have gave me that question beforehand.
Yeah.
I gotta think.
So y'all do a definition of a man, not man of the house.
So they were doing definition of a man.
For me, a man. One thing I know for a man,
real man.
He's either going to do it himself or figure it out and find somebody else, pay somebody else to do it. Just see something that needs to be done, do it himself, and or pay somebody else to do it.
I also feel like piggybacking off that, the definition of a man is someone who protects and make you feel safe. And I ain't even talking about just in a house. It could be somewhere you at a bar and some strange man or something is dangerous going on. There's another man there. Are you all right? Is he giving you a problem? Is he that? So it's someone that can also make you feel safe.
Put his life in danger for a purpose strange.
It could be that, or it could just be.
Actually, that's what humanity is all about.
Yeah,
you see something going on with somebody. You can't. What you say?
I got a family to make it home too. I die 911 for y'all.
Well,
We
yeah,
learned that
you ain't
when
gotta die
remember when
for it,
that
but
lady got the lady was ordering food and that guy was talking to her crazy and the son came in there and shot him up and they was talking about everybody ran out of there. All the
no,
men
he
didn't
hit
try to
that
stop.
woman. He hit that woman. He hit his
Yeah,
mama.
he punched her and did nobody do
Yeah,
nothing. You know why?
hit
They
one of them
just
men's
don't
in
do
there.
that these days because they'll jump in there, they'll get killed. Them that couple that was arguing and fighting to be back friends talking and you in your grave.
But see, in that scenario, that man that was arguing with her was a stranger. She didn't know that man. That wasn't her boyfriend or none of that.
And you
He was
see,
a
didn't nobody
stranger.
help though, because he still could have tried it. He could have killed them for interference, or they could have caught a straight bullet. I know a lady right now from the hometown we at, Charlotte Morrison, them mama's sister. Her and her man was into it. She tried to intervene, and she lost her life, and they got back together.
Damn.
So after hearing and seeing that, and like maybe my late teens, early 20s, nothing.
So
And then I got a sister who was messing with this guy. He jumped on her. I choked him out. They got back together maybe 3 weeks later. And what if his family didn't respect my family and then they trying to get me for choking him? So no, I learned to stay out of relationships.
well, now I don't see. I think we twisted what I said out of turn. I don't mean getting into domestic disputes. I just mean
That
being
means
a
no dispute
protector.
these days because people got that tool.
Yeah.
So that's why people ain't quick
So
to do that no more.
for another example, like when I worked in restaurants, our manager or whoever was there at the time, do you need me to walk you to your car? He could have been a big bad wolf, who knows? But in the moment, you need me to walk you to your car to make you feel safe. It's the middle of the night. He just got off. He don't know if I'm carrying. I got my knife, my gun, my mace. He don't know, but he's also offering, let me walk you to your car so you can feel safe.
You say he offered or he didn't offer?
He offered. He offered every woman. Do you need someone to walk you to the car?
Trying to hit on the low, trying to see which one of y'all can hit.
That'll be his last time walking me to the car. Cause don't take advantage of me like that. Don't use
Yeah,
don't
'cause I'm
use that. Don't
vulnerable
use
at that point.
yeah, don't
Yeah.
use that moment to make that moment.
You
You
have
could have
to see
asked me
what
when we
their
was in the
motives are
restaurant.
today too, ladies.
Exactly, that is true. So I don't know. Are y'all saying my definition is a little off base? The protector thing?
No, your definition is your definition.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
What's your
So,
definition of?
well,
Uh-oh.
my definition is one that does what it takes to make sure that their household stays intact. So whatever role that man has to fill, the protector, the cook, the watching your children, being there to listen to your spouse and make sure her needs are met.
I thought we said not about the household.
No, well, I'm saying what I'm saying is that person, that's what the man is. I'm not saying to make sure, I mean, as far as the household goes, but the things that he does for his family or for whomever are the people that he cares for. So
But the men of today are not doing that, and ain't no wonder that's why the women ain't worried about having no man of the house, because the men of the day are not doing all those things often.
So y'all
women, yeah, but so women have allowed a watered down version of a man to come in because they want that. Yeah, because they want a person to fill a space, right? So they water down what they want of what they have seen or what they have been shown or told a man is or should be to accept.
So in other words, y'all, they settle for a man in the house instead of a man of the house.
Exactly.
They just want a man in the house.
Exactly. Because I
So
mean,
he don't have to fix everything. He don't have to provide emotional support. He don't have to do what it takes to make sure the family runs smooth. He just got to
said
be
that?
there. He just got to be there to hug on you whenever and lay that wood. You know.
yeah, you and I know everyone has heard somebody say at some point in time. In fact, it was in one of them songs. Having
A piece of
a
man,
piece of man is better
a
than
man
having
better
no
than no
man.
man at all. Actually, AJ said that last week. She said she okay with a piece of man.
I did not. I did not. I said I
You said that
only way
last
I'd be
week.
okay. Only
No,
way
she
I'd be
didn't. You
okay with a
said
piece of man is if we in like a polyamorous polygamy type situation, and I can have somebody else when he with somebody else.
And you'll put that cat through that.
Meow.
Y'all don't be thinking, man. Y'all women don't think worth a dang.
Eh.
Fuck my body. They
I
don't
mean,
look at what that
I'm
body
just
goes
tripping
through
with you. You talking
and
about
it's all about
a piece
fulfilling a
of man?
need.
Don't nobody want a piece of man. Let's just be realistic.
Who
yeah,
was
they
that?
do.
Who was that? Was that Betty Wright? Who was that said
They'll
that?
better right.
and
And
she
It's
said a
these
piece of
days,
man is better than no man.
today, women are actually living that truth. Because they can't find a man they own, so they messing with somebody else's man. It's so much of that going on today. This more than ever.
That's why a lot of
That's a
women,
normal. That's a normal thing now.
yeah, a lot of women are staying in relationships where they're getting DV'd all the time, right? Because they don't want to move out of that relationship, that piece of man that they have. So they sit
Yeah.
there and they accept it because where else am I gonna get another piece of man, right?
No,
Wow.
he do just enough
Right.
to keep her there. Just enough.
The bare
If the
minimum.
bill $300, he give her $100.
Ooh. She
Oh
gotta
yeah.
come up with the other two. He ain't even give her half.
And he don't really care who she get it from either.
Right.
He got his woman at home.
Right.
Yeah, his wife at home.
So yeah, so a lot of people are okay with having the
Well, I know
I mean,
a woman. If I'm getting that 100 from you, I got 2 coming from old dude.
girl,
So
quit
don't
playing.
ever
Yeah.
just think.
You getting
Stop
2
playing.
coming from
Don't
him.
don't
Stop
ever
playing.
just
And you
think.
gotta spread that.
Stop
You
playing.
gotta
She
spread that. Hey,
I
old
bet she
man.
don't. I bet she
Old
don't. I
man.
bet she got 200 coming from somewhere else.
Yeah,
Old man told me. Now, I got schooled by them old cats.
No,
He said,
Lord.
oh yeah, old man lady, dang. He don't care who she get it from. He said he know he can't get it all. Long as she say him a little bit when he wants some. He ain't trying to get it all.
Lord have mercy.
Coochie cat end up looking like stingrays.
Ain't it?
Nah, he's got that bounce back.
No, that ain't really true either. Once that thing gets stretched out of proportion, you guys can come back for a minute, but it's gonna eventually get out of proportion
I
and it's
have
gonna stay
never
that way.
ever physically heard of a coochie coming out of proportion.
I ain't even.
Man,
There's no such
but
thing.
y'all done seen them women sitting in there and they're
Look like a damn turkey.
yeah, them labia lips and spread out and look like a goddamn stingray swimming in the ocean. Y'all
Well,
done seen that.
James, you better testify. You better talk about what you done seen and heard and been through, and what you done climbed up in.
No, I ain't climbed up in
See
them
your
because
fuck.
I don't need nothing that fold back in.
Feel like you gotta testify.
I
Right.
was done hit the stingrays.
Ain't it?
Right.
Got them all wore out.
You
I may have
part of the
called. I may have
problem.
called some.
He'd have described it to a T. He'd have been up in them stingrays swimming.
Y'all, anybody know that? And then, yeah, I mean, they even had a roast beef sandwich showing.
What's that?
James done had it all.
No, there was a meme going around showing a roast beef sandwich. Talk about the latest stuff look like Arby's after a while.
Oh, oh, yeah, y'all women. She hater group is strong. Y'all like MAGA, make America great again.
No, I'm just saying.
I
Those,
mean,
those are some things that happens.
oh wow, oh my, oh
But
me, oh
anyway,
my.
but yeah. So again, women are okay with taking care of,
The household now.
yeah, with
Okay, now let me
admin and
ask
a
you this.
quarter
This is a
remain.
question here, though. This is a question here. Not that you feel less of a man. Um, it's whatever works for your household. We understand that. But seeing what men did back in the day, our uncles, dads, not that we go to the extreme like Roseanne them, where the man wearing the flannel shirts and the jeans and the steel toe boots, looking like a little rag doll, and the wife stepping out looking like prima donna, and he just give her the whole check and all that shit. Not that, but would you, coming from where what you seen, be comfortable with your woman going out there if she have to do 2 jobs to keep the bills paid, and you're an able body and you're just working your regular 9 to 5, and she's out there doing 2 jobs, and when she off, she driving Uber or DoorDash? Would you be comfortable with that? 100% comfortable with it. Not saying what you have to do, because I understand if you have to stay there for Jax and all that. Let's just say even if you had to switch your roles and be at home doing the cooking, keeping Jax, would you 100% just be comfortable with that? Is my question.
Man, I couldn't even stand for my wife to make more than me. So
Okay, I was wondering because you are an advocate of and supporter of switching the roles. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I'm
But
not
ain't
fault of
that a
that
pride
myself.
thing?
no. When I'm saying switching the roles, I mean there are going to be times when, you know, I may have to cook or something
Oh,
of that nature.
so
I'm
you
talking
ain't
about
saying
helping. I'm talking
stay at
about
home
helping
dad.
out in the household. That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm
So
not
you're not
saying
saying
that.
stay at home dad
But
No,
when you
no.
say.
why would her making more money than you be an issue for you?
Just because it is. I mean, I guess
What
it's
if
my
she has
ego.
a higher education than you? She's worked
She
harder to get
does.
that salary than you.
She does have a higher education than me, but I have a lot of certifications too. So I worked hard to get where I need to get to ensure that I'm making the money that I need to make. And so if she
Right.
goes up another ring higher, then I'm gonna have to go up 1 2.
And see, my thing is this here too with me. I'm the financial person in the house. So I don't care who make what, the money go through me. So if
What
she
you
want to
mean?
go out there and make 200,000, 400,000 a year, I get that 400,000. I'm gonna divide where it need to go.
Oh, so you pay all
What
the
you mean the
bills?
money go through you?
It go through me.
Elaborate.
I was like, because if she gets paid, she gives you her
So
money.
no, so what he's saying is the money comes into the household and he distributes the money where it needs to be.
And what's left, then we turn up. But if this dude that's gonna go over there, this goes there. What else you say need to be paid? Okay, hold up, that's gonna be for that. And then you say in 2 weeks we gotta pay. Okay. All right, we got 4,500 left for the month. Everything paid. What you want to do? Okay, I'm gonna put this 25 up and say, so now we can go if you want to go out of town, you want to go there, you want to get that sofa. You got 2,000 to go do that.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I'm a logical thinker. I'm
yeah.
a real leader. So
Yep.
I'm the definition of
But
what
you also said if
daddy
you
and
paying all the
granddaddy was.
bills and she only got a little bit of bills to pay, and she pay if you paying the mortgage and all the major bills and she just pay like the cable. You said if she needed something for the kids, it's got to come out of that.
No, because like I said, what's left, she can do what she want to. If as long as I done put up what we need, if she want to go in the bathroom, shit, and wipe her ass with it, and flush that, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Just don't come and
If the
ask me for
baby
what I
need a
put up.
coat, if the
Well,
baby
Don't
need
ask
a
me for
coat,
what I put up.
no, what he said was if she wants it prior to him saying that, hey, it's okay for us to get it now based on the
What's
finance
left?
or the bills that he has done, then she can take
Right.
that out of her portion.
Do whatever.
okay.
Yeah, that's that. Her money is her money. Just don't run out of your money and come back and ask me for none.
But you said her
get
money
your
go
money,
through
it's
you
your money.
anyway.
So what?
But you said her money goes through you anyway.
Yeah,
Right. But what's left? What's left? If it's $2,000 that I'm finna give her, that's left at the end of the month for her to fuck off. This month, this week, when after her pay period, to go do whatever. That's her money. I don't care what she do. She can come. Oh, I saw this on sale. I got this dress. I got this. I got this outfit. It was on sale. About the kid. I ain't got nothing to do with it. All right, that's what's up. Long as you ain't done that, then you say, "Oh man, I'm gonna need another 150." Right? That sounds too personal. That sounds like a you problem. So you got to wait till next pay period to do that. So if you have to call them and move money around, but every now and then I might say, okay, we could do that, but don't do it again. But it's going to be a lecture behind that because we all have to be disciplined when spending money because it's not easy to come by. And I'm one who want to have a cushion for what if. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. So I don't really believe in wasting all my money. I don't like living paycheck to paycheck.
That's understandable. I guess my thing would be, are you using the money as control and she can't, do what she needs to do for the kids in the
And
household.
real men, which I consider myself one, control is nothing. I say what I say. It is what it is. No, it's not a control thing because I'm going to think what's best for the whole family. Myself is last.
Yeah.
I think for the whole family. You got to be a weak nigga to just walk around here wanting control. I've been him all my life. So that control stuff is nothing. I ran out of control freak, I think maybe my second year in college. That's nothing. So no, it's not a control thing. It's we're gonna make sure we're straight because we're all grown now. We have kids now.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta be straight. And so whether you want a Ferrari, whether you want to go and get whatever, we're not doing that because we still got other things that's going on that we're trying to do that's bigger than that. Preparing for when we leave, kids still have something. So I'm thinking I'm on a different level. So if she said, hey, like the guy with the big nose, the light-skinned guy that look like LL that y'all know, what is he, a singer and actor? And like he said on that post last week, if the wife come up and say, hey, we want to do this, he might say, hey, this ain't the time to do that. We'll schedule that for another date. That's what I do. We'll do what you want, but we're going to make sure that it's not going to interfere with what we're trying to do financially.
Right. I got you.
So but no, control, hell no. That's weak. That might have been when we were in college. Don't go this, you were that, and no, but no, it's a us thing. It's a we thing. But being that I'm the financial person, I decide that's my job. She stays in the kitchen. She prepares the meals. I go grocery shopping with her, but I'm just there. She picks what she wants. I give one or two items, but she know everything she want, from seasonings all the way down to the meats. I'm just there with her, pushing the button, and I handle the finances. So we all, like Austin say, we understands our roles in the house, and mine just happened to be the financial guy. I've done accounting. I've been in companies running the payroll, so I do the money in the household. That's my job.
Mm.
And so he does his like that, and I do all the bills, and then I tell my wife, this is what we have surplus. This is what we have left to spend. So budget accordingly. So whatever you decide, because we have Amazon and UPS at our house just about every goddamn day.
Mm-hmm.
So say proportion your, scale back here this week because this is due, this is due, this is due. This is how much you have left. This is how much we have to spend. This is how
But do
much
you
we
see
have to
that
spend.
is that a form of control? Because you telling her do this, scale back, do that. Is that a form of control?
No, that may be guidance. I mean, I'm just want to make sure we don't cross that boundary of control.
And that's a lot of y'all problem with man of the house.
But
A lot of
no,
women,
there's a lot of
a
problem
lot
with
of women
men
see
being the man of
man
the
of
house.
the house as
They
being
use the
controlling.
fact that they got the
I won't
money
say
to
that necessarily
control.
because when she asked you, you defined it perfectly. You didn't get egotistical about it. You didn't shut her down. You communicated exactly what you meant and how you felt and never changed what you said.
Right.
So I feel
But
like
a
that.
lot of women see submissive and man of the household as him being controlling. And I know Anthony, you don't like that control shit at all. And you in love like a cuckoo bug right now. But if that man becomes what you consider controlling, I don't think you even stay in there. After you see 3 or 4 signs of control, and you've been in this for a minute, this is your soulmate. You hate control. And I noticed that just from the
Man,
2 or 3 times you've been on here.
Anthony like
You
that
don't like
girl
it.
on Coming to America. Woof, 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 big
I
dog.
don't think
Woof,
so.
woof,
I
woof.
don't get that from her.
Please pull up the definition of hater so we can see James' name in there.
That's Austin. I told you. That's Austin.
I don't see her doing that because her main thing when she first started saying anything on the podcast was about a man being controlling. She don't like that. That's the biggest turnoff for her. She can probably take a lot of other stuff, but control, I don't think she likes.
And I definitely agree because and I go back to the conversation you just had with AJ. Everything could be communicated. Everything can be talked about. I think the topic we were holding, it was like, if you had a gay friend or if you had a friend, he said you can't be friends with that person.
Right.
To me, that's control. That's weird. I mean, if this person don't have my best interest at heart, because your mama will do that. If they can tell this person don't have your best interest at heart, every time y'all hang out, your purse gets stolen or money missing from you or some weird stuff always happening. If you're giving me insight and saying, look, open your eyes. This is what's going on every time you with this person. Coincidence do not exist. That's what's going on. Instead of, hey, that bitch, you can't hang out with her no
I don't
more.
want you to hang with her.
Yeah, you can't hang with her no more. And
You
I'm
can't
like,
hang with her no more.
that's been my friend since we were kids. Like I said, I don't want you hanging with her. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, to me, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's that weird shit.
That's
Okay,
not that's not a loving relationship.
But at the end of the day, who you have to come home to.
If I have to go through that, it don't have to be you.
My friends.
Yeah, if I have to go through that, then I don't have to come home to you. If I have to go through that, if I have to go through that.
So what if he feels like your friends are causing
then break it down for me.
I just said that. I just
give me some examples.
So
like she said,
so what
what
if he's saying, all right, so your friend got you going, y'all going out all the time, you're not really spending time in the house.
That's when, and guess what? I won't be going out as much. I will stop that.
I dial it back. I
will definitely dial it back. I won't be going out as much. Y'all gonna have to kick it another time without me. Yeah, girl. No, my man done finally said, nah, I gotta wrap it up, honey. I'm out these streets, baby. Y'all gotta see y'all when I see y'all. I'll meet y'all for brunch. I gotta be at home.
Be like George. At 10 o'clock. I gotta go.
Okay. And what's the song? Jill Scott told them I'll hang another time. I kick with y'all a whole other time, baby. So
there are times that we will say that, but then there are times when we want to go out with our girls and we don't need no nigga saying, oh, you can't go.
The nigga, now he a nigga when he say you can't go. Boy, I tell you,
So
these
what
women,
if
boy.
what if he
I
doesn't
really
say
wish you wouldn't
what
listen
if
to me.
what if that nigga don't say
Okay, because I got
I
quiet
don't
on that
want
part.
you? Well, what if he say I don't want you to go versus you can't go?
Now I'm gonna go
We
anyway.
have a conversation.
He gonna have to give me a
No,
conversation on why he don't want me to go because I'm
we
going
have a
anyway.
conversation. We're gonna have a conversation on why you want me to go.
I done got my lashes and
And,
done.
and,
I
and
done,
he
I
can
done
have
got
that
my clothes
conversation.
on. I done
He
took
can
a
have that
shower.
conversation, but if we gonna
But
turn up
see,
and
now
we gonna
you
talk about
can't.
it all that week, I'm going. So he just got to be mad, and we just got to deal with
But
that when
no,
I
you
get back.
can't. But see, that's another thing. You can't be unfair like that. You cannot watch me get dressed, watch me put on shoes, watch me put on my lashes,
Right.
watch me get dressed. And as soon as I'm finna step out the door, I don't want you to go. You can't go. Well, like, come on now.
I don't feel like they got your best interest.
And
Or
you don't watch
using
me.
Girl,
to
you
You don't
crazy.
watch
manipulate
me.
you.
Hey,
You
You
don't
just
watch me
trying to
get all the way
manipulate.
dressed and ready. No, what you
Yeah.
can do, you don't watch me already get dressed and ready. You better come with a compromise. I don't want you going out with them. I'm finna get my shoes on. We finna go out to happy hour our damn self. I'm
Yeah.
calling hoes in
hell
a minute.
no,
Hey,
you
my
finna
bad,
go
y'all. Look, I don't
upstairs
feel
and
good.
take a
I should go.
bath, and we finna Netflix and goddamn chill. We ain't going out, goddamn.
I want to go out. I'm dressed. I want to go out. There's a difference. Sometimes you
And that's
just
one
want to
thing
go
about a woman.
out.
And
Right.
that's one thing
Be like,
about a
God
woman,
dang, I
especially a black
accidentally
woman.
spilled that Clorox on your clothes.
Ooh,
When they ass get dressed and they mind is set on going out, they going so motherfucking well. I don't care if the club is closed down, the club burnt
Man,
down, they say that the party
Waffle
canceled.
House is open.
They
Somebody
going
open.
somewhere dressed up, homeboy.
Somebody open.
Hell yeah, they going somewhere. They don't give a damn. They'll go to the pool hall just stand around in them dresses.
The thing about it is, we do so much as women and sacrifice so much. So when we decide to finally do something for ourselves, don't start trying to manipulate the situation.
and
So
I
you're
do,
With
saying
some
that the
bullshit.
and
man
I do
doesn't
believe
do
going back to the conversation of control. When you let a little
Because
shit
I
happen,
believe
a lot of shit start happening. When you start letting the little control dig in, and they start realizing,
yeah,
oh, okay, yeah, I got this nigga by the back of her neck. A lot of stuff
yeah.
start happening.
Everybody
Now,
got to nip that shit in the bud.
yeah, hello, nip it right on in the bud.
a lot of people like that grab by the back of the neck.
That's different.
We talking about different
That's
grab.
different. Yeah, that's
We
a
talking about
different
being
grade.
grabbed emotionally.
And so y'all don't think man of the house mean controlling?
No, I definitely do not.
Okay.
It means
So
Now,
exactly
some
how.
men think
What?
that because of they man of the house, they control, they are
There is some
controlling.
men that do
That's
that.
not cool.
Yeah, and then it came down from generation to generation. They sometimes don't even know better. This how my grandfather treated my grandmother. This how my father treated my mother. This how I'm supposed to treat my girlfriend, my wife. This is how I'm supposed to do it because that's how they did it.
Look, like them old heads. This what the old heads taught me, baby. You better go research
Exactly.
a new way. Research you a new way. You got Google at your fingertips.
Because some of them old heads deserved a pot of grits and never got it.
And then on top of that, where they wives at?
They was still at the house. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this story.
And probably miserable.
They sitting up there at the
Hey, now this
stove
work,
with the
y'all.
kid.
Awesome. Check this out. This work. And this reminded me of when AJ said she waited till she got dressed. This is what he did. He felt like she was cheating or whatever. This old school cat. He said she was on the phone. She was back and forth on the phone, going in and out of the bathroom. She got dressed, put a little smell good on. He said, and right before she got ready to get up, go to the door, he said, hold up, baby. I want us to hang out this evening. I want to be with my wife today. I'm gonna take you where you want to go. He said she kept looking at that phone because whoever she was talking to, she had to call him and tell him she wasn't coming. He wouldn't let her get the phone. So he said every now and then you got a cock block. He said he let her go anytime she want to go, but every now and then you got a cock block. And he taught me that's a good little
Because intuition is real.
Every now and then you got a cock block.
Intuition is real.
But just doing it just for the hell of it is wrong.
Yeah, or just being
Intuition
a jealous weak man.
For the hell.
Got a cock block. Every now and then he said, "You got a cock block."
Nah, because I done heard a
She
story
was getting
about a
ready to
man.
head out that door.
I heard a story about a man, his wife doing the same thing, getting dressed, get ready, going out. He like, damn, baby, you look good. You look good. Let me make you a drink. This nigga gonna put some sleeping pills in it. And the woman never made it out. Woke up the next
I
I
day.
mean,
feel like
that's
he
the
just
same
he
way
told-
told
when a
people to
woman
go.
don't want her man to go out with his friends. Instead, you should help him iron and make sure he looks good.
Mm.
You know, because everybody needs to. Sometimes you need an outlet outside of your person.
Yeah, they need an outlet.
So
The thing that go ahead, Austin, because
what if they say be home by a certain time?
you
Midnight.
That's cool. That's cool. I heard you.
leave
I
at
heard you.
10 and he wants you back by 12.
Well, I done got too old to
I
keep
said
living. I
that.
done got too old to leave the house at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh,
But at the
okay, so you
end
leave by
of the
7
day,
and be back by 10 or 11.
I could
well,
I could leave at 6 or 7, be back home by midnight, 1
yeah,
a.m.
yeah,
See,
What?
I don't
that's a long ass time to be gone. 1 o'clock.
no
The
no no.
locks will be changed.
I'm saying at the I'm
You can go
saying
back where you came from.
I'm saying at the latest, yeah.
yeah.
At
I
the
leave about
latest, yeah.
7.
Well, I mean,
I'll
what you
be
got to
back by
do for
midnight, 1
that many
o'clock.
hours? 6 hours.
Dirty number 5 out. We gonna sit outside, shoot the breeze till the sun go down to about 8:30. Then we're gonna find somewhere to go sit down and eat. Then we might find somewhere to go
Yeah, I'm
out.
saying it's a whole day worth of things. We're not going to one place at 7 and staying there till 12.
Right.
We stop at the
See, they
house,
do
we
different
pregame.
than us, Austin.
Yeah, I'm saying we go to the
We
girl's
gonna
house, we
go to the
pregame.
lounge and we gonna
Somebody still getting dressed. Somebody still
Yeah.
ain't even fully dressed when you get to the bitch house. She still put on her lashes. She need you to help her pick out her shoes. We still ain't even left the house. It's almost 9.
Yeah, I had to put on a tracksuit and a baseball cap and call it a day.
Ooh, Lord,
Hey,
jeez.
I'll be on
Ooh.
FaceTime. We still over here. Oh, okay. Where y'all at now? Oh, we just pulled up. You know.
Hang out with your girls on FaceTime, huh? Just keep your ass
Nah,
in the
hang
house.
out. You be her third. You be the sixth leg. You be the sixth toe. You on that phone? She can't turn up. She have to put the phone down. Hold on a minute. Then she stand up, do a little groove. Then put it down. Yeah, I'm still sitting here. It's just, you know.
So you gonna
Hell no, I ain't gonna do that, man. That's too much
That's
work.
like
That's too much
standing
work.
up somebody God until that's really no trust right there at
Yeah,
all.
that's too much work. I wouldn't
Have
do
me
that.
on
I'd be like,
FaceTime
shit,
while
just
you
go.
out with hanging out with your girls. And I
Nah, and I'm
guarantee
gonna
you,
tell you the sad part about it.
say
And
that,
the
if a
sad part
woman
about
say
it,
that,
my girl hung out with some people back July last year. It was a sneaker ball thing. She just kept calling me, and I'm like, why are you calling me? You with them, you know? And in between, she just kept calling me, and I'm like, when I'm with my people, I don't call you at all, and because I want that same respect. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, don't call me. I'll see you, but she was getting a plate for me. And hey, I'm just calling to see that you want the cake. They got this. I'm like, just do your thing, But she don't go out like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. When she get bored with them, she calling me. And I'm like, man, I'm over here with the fellas. The girls went out. I'm hanging with the fellas. We shooting shit, talking old school. We doing our thing. And every time the phone ringing, she calling me. So they looking at me like, shit, what's going on? I'm like, hold on a minute. So, yeah, I got no problem with the going out, thing. If it's with, I really don't care for people. If you don't like me, I don't really care for you, going out with people that don't like me per se. It's just certain things that I don't care for. But if you're comfortable, because at the end of the day, she have to know how to respect you and shut shit down. And that's what mine do. So, this relationship is different from other ones that I've had, so I'm learning to navigate different in this one, which is new to me.
So controlling.
It's new to me. Well, it ain't so much controlling. It's like I'm always let you do you, but don't get mad when I start meeting. So I have to get that. I had to get that out of my head that just because they're enjoying themselves, going off, doing them, blah, blah, that don't always mean that friend saying, hey, let me hook you up with my cousin John or
Yeah, they're
let
not
me put you on
cheating.
this. Or she hanging with single friends and he got single friends, and then he's hollering at one of the single girls, and now they like, who is that? And 8 times out of 10, whoever my girl hanging with, she look better than them, so they gonna always say something to her.
and then she gonna say, I'm married or I got
Yeah,
somebody.
she
Shut it down.
handles herself. But
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, it took some growing on that, because I've been that guy.
Maturity.
And that's the problem with Austin and I. We've been that guy. You know, so it was hard for us to. We had to change a lot about ourselves and our thinking and our mentality when we got with the women that we married. We had to block out a lot of shit because we used to be that guy, you know.
We probably owe all them other women an apology.
No, I don't believe in apologizing.
They knew it. They knew what they was doing. They knew what they was getting themselves
They
into.
knew they do. I let them know from the jump. That's one thing about me, though. I learned to be honest with women and let them choose. And 8 times out of 10 or 9.5 times out of 10, they're gonna go ahead and do what they do. And you know, they're not and they try to get in their feelings.
The choice is ours. It is our choice to make. Don't put me in a situation that I didn't choose to be in.
Yeah. So let them know up front. Because I used to get faced with I didn't know, and why you didn't tell me this, and coming to the house while I got someone else there. I'm like, that wasn't that nice. I'm getting flowers thrown at the door and all that. I'm like, no, that ain't that knives pulled out. That's not what it do. So I was like, no, you just need to let everybody know up front. Yeah, I got somebody. We in a situation right now. You know, you just got to be real. And if they want to mess with you or hook up, they're gonna do it. Especially now, y'all in the hookup culture. So it don't matter. Shit, what your woman got to do with me is what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Now, but you could tell when they start liking you because all they want to talk about is your damn woman. That's a turnoff. When I was out there, that was the biggest turnoff. Well, I don't want her saying this and that. Go on, you can answer your phone. You ain't got to call her. I don't want to keep you out too late. Don't you think I know what I'm doing? You know, so yeah, it would just be hard jumping back out there in the dating world now because y'all killing Waka Flockas now. And I don't want no parts of it. Yeah, and I feel sorry for my brothers out there that have to get out there. Like, I hate George going through what he's going through. And I know he want to bury himself in his work. But the sad part about that is when you let everybody go and you try to bury yourself in your work barely comes. It just always happen like that. So I don't.
Because God probably needs you to take that time to sit and think.
I just feel like in his situation, because I've been there, done that, and you know, like I was telling you, AJ, I was doing this before I met you. I've been doing this. This is my life. This is how I pay my bill. This and that. You're not going to come in here and mess up. That was my mentality. What George going through now. But at the end of the day, when she came to him with whatever they was going through, I think he should have sat back and say, I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Even if in his back of his mind it's bullshit and he gonna do what he want to do to keep from losing.
Just agree to disagree.
Yeah, be like, I get what you're saying, but explain communication.
Yeah,
communication. He should have explained to her, this is what I'm doing,
and this is why, and this is the why. And see, there's a lot of times what's going on with these children and the parents. Parents, you know, we weren't raised to tell, like we were taught, we don't do as I say, do as I don't do as I do as I say.
Hey,
and I ain't gotta tell you why I do it because I said do it. But when you explain
the why, that on the podcast last week, she posted under our thing. She said she don't believe you should alter your life when you have a kid. It should be do as I say, not as I do. And I felt like that's the worst way to raise anybody because I seen that. But how did you tell me not to get high at
And you
8,
getting
9,
high.
10 years old, and not to get drunk at 8, 9, 10 years old, and not to sneak another woman in. I watched Dad sneak another woman in the house, and they go in the back room. But you telling me don't do as I do as I say. That's terrible.
Yeah, you got to set the example. And so, like I'm saying, when you explain the difference between a child doing what you want them to do and not, is the why. When you kind of, if you get through to that kid and he start understanding the whys,
Mhm.
you know,
You know what? I
you
had a
can get
couple.
that child to do something for you more
I
than you
had
could without
my
telling
other
them why.
co-host that was on here. He said because of how his parent raised him, he was on the phone with me, and my son had asked me to do something. Could he do something? I told him no, and I was explaining to he was like, okay, well, why we can't do that, And then I started explaining to him, because if you do this, we're gonna have to do that, da. He was like, why are you explaining it to him? I said, what you mean? He said, hell, you said no, that just should have been it. But my parents didn't raise me like that. We had, and Austin commented on it, but we had what we call family conferences. I grew up in the father knows best type of shit, and Cosby Show shit. So we had what's called family conferences, and they used to be on the weekends. And if I came in late, they wouldn't let me in the house, so I had to spend the night with Austin. And that's another reason why we were already close as cousins, but we had to come super close because I wasn't going to go home at no 11:30, 12 o'clock. So I always spent the night over at his house. But he'll tell you, I had to be up at 7 to be back home to finish my chores, that for the day at 8 o'clock in the morning. But we had what was called family conferences, and they explained at the table in the kitchen, at the little bar or whatever, why they're making the decisions that they're making. And then they'll say, so do you have any questions? So mine was, I'm a DJ, I'm popular, me and my crew pretty much running the city. I can't come home at 11:30 and 12 o'clock when y'all lock the door, because mom got to get up and go to work Saturday morning. And once she hear a bump in the house, she can't go back to sleep. So now she's struggling at work. So they didn't want me coming home after 12 o'clock. She was going to try to stay up till 12, but I had to be in that house before 12 o'clock, because at 12 o'clock, she locked the door. And
Right.
so they was like, I said, well, I can't do that. And so they sat there and they was like, I tell you what, do you be with James? I said, yeah, I be with James and my other partner, Renard. He said, well, you can spend the night over their house, but you just be home at 8 o'clock to do your chores. And at work. So that was my why.
Yeah,
And then they
my
gave me an
uncle
answer. So I
kinda did
raised
me
my
like
kids with
that.
telling them why.
Yeah.
If I say, hey, you can't, I don't want you drinking sodas. If he say why, I'm gonna say, hey, because you can mess up the kidneys, you can do this, you can do that, da. You don't want to drink too many sodas. So I give them an explanation. But a lot of us grew up with, because I said so.
Yeah.
I don't raise mine with
It is because I said so. But here's why. It's
right.
It's because I
Right.
said so. But here's why. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I have to catch myself, because every blue moon, when you tied up and you got a lot of other stuff going on in your head, and that kid coming in there saying, hey, why I can't do that? God damn it, because I said so.
Right.
But
Who you
as a
questioning?
leader, I have to think, okay, it got under my skin, but hey, as man of the house, I have to soak in everybody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? And like that say, that brother's name, Romney, what's that big nose, light skinned preacher guy from look like LL from Shy? What his name?
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about when you say
Yeah,
shot.
he said last week, he broke it down on the podcast, that as man of the house, you have to adjust. You have to adjust to a lot of their feelings. He was like, he may come in and she's emotional. So, and she may need a day to check out. So now he's cooking, he's cleaning, he got the kids, she got a day off. So you have to adjust, and a lot of women see man of the house as, I'm if I'm the breadwinner, you can't tell me nothing. And I actually hear women say that. How can he tell me what to do? I make the most money. I'm the one paying the rent. He ain't got to come home if he don't want to. He's not going to tell me what to do with my money. You know, so that's why I say.
But that's not somebody that's operating as a team.
I don't know. I think the woman struggled for so long that when they get their chance, it's kind of like a person that's been broke all their life, and then when they finally get some money, they act funny.
Yeah. You know, unfortunately, women have to struggle on the job. They have to then feel like they have to struggle at home. They feel like they have to constantly prove themselves to whomever they're dealing with. So them coming home and feeling like this guy is making less than them, trying to tell them what to do or how to do it, what they should or
But
shouldn't do.
how could they look at that though, Austin?
But
That
you
don't sound
looking at
good.
him through. You said that
Even the
his
way he's saying
value,
that don't
his
sound good to me.
value is all he's worth. His value is what he makes, but he can be way more valuable outside of financial or money. He can have value just like we have value outside of money or sex. You know,
What
we
else you
have
got?
value.
What else you got?
Stop playing with me.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Yeah, cause I'm like shit. Hey, that was women used to say. All you want to do is share sale. Like shit. What else you got? I make my own money. What you know? What else you can
And
do? Now,
and when you
you
said
can
what
do
else you
something else.
got, they
Let me
were
know.
like, and when you said what else you got, they were like, okay then, Black. No, baby. Where they do that at?
Were you there?
No.
Oh,
That's some
okay.
bullshit.
No. But I mean, it depends on the type of relationship you have, and just going back to what you were saying, AJ, that they're not working as a team. Some people don't want the team; they want to be the owner of the team, right? So, and what does the owner do on these sports teams or any company? They sit back, they give orders because they're in control. They make the most money. They have the most money. So it's you do what I say, you know, and some women, some people, men and women sometimes, if they don't feel important in a certain place, then they take that and assert whatever control that they may have in another place, you know. So and unfortunately that's just how it is sometimes. So they're not working. Some people don't see themselves as a team.
It's crazy.
But like I say, a lot of women, like you say, Austin, they struggle. And when they make their money, it's not our money. This is my money. You know, like they say, a man could win a lotto and he thinking about taking care of his family. A woman win a lotto, she finna take a trip with her girl. She thinking about a damn cruise for herself.
No.
That's all over social media. They say that that's a common thing. They say a woman would think first of herself. Where that man get money, he gonna think about her and the family.
So we talking about women that have family,
right?
Or we talking about single women?
I
I said you talking about a woman that has a family?
No,
That don't sound right.
you better tell her. They talking about women in relationships, married women. They'll say when a man win a lotto, he's thinking about the family and paying up bills, and we got that. When a woman wins a lotto, she's thinking about herself. She finna go shopping. She finna do all the stuff she wanted to do that she couldn't do.
Yeah, they get in F them kids mode. They with their daddy.
Ain't it?
Wow.
What are women that we talk? Where the women on this podcast be at, Austin? Where they be?
Y'all need to find them because we need to mentor them.
We need to see the algorithm of y'all Facebook.
We need to help them.
Y'all being hood, homeland. Y'all being negative
for them.
Y'all
we need to start
our demographics are 35 plus. But the ones that struggling are the 35s and under. Or sometimes the 40. The 40-year-olds. The 40-year-olds are tripping too because they didn't get a chance to. They had kids and didn't get a chance to turn up and be kids. You know, so a lot of those are struggling. The 40-year-olds are struggling. Yeah, they struggle because they couldn't be kids. And if they didn't have kids of their own and they had siblings, the older ones was stuck raising the kids. So while mama was either working, clubbing, or whatever, that 16-year-old was ironing the 5-year-old clothes. The 16-year-old was cooking breakfast and dinner for the 5 and 7-year-olds, washing dishes, cleaning, and still was expected to bring home honor roll. So it was I watched it. It was a struggle. But then when they got grown, when the women had those kids that 15, 16, 17 years old and wasn't able to club and everything, they find themselves in their 30s trying to go to the club and live their lives. And they left that child who they put on hold for those 15 years. As soon as that child turns 16, now I'm going to go to the club. So now they doing stuff that the other ones did at 21 to 25. They 30 out there doing 19-year-old shit. So, and AJ, you know what I'm talking about. Because I'm sure you've seen that too with your friends, family, you know. So that's what they did. That women that had kids at young ages wanted to enjoy themselves. When that kid got 15, 16 years old, they was able to leave them at home by themselves. They start going out.
15, 16, they young enough to stay at home at 12 now. 11, 10.
Back in the day, you what, 16?
It was 10 back in the day.
10 years old, staying at home by yourself.
And this is without a ring. And this is without a ring.
We were latchkey kids. We had keys to the house.
You what?
We had to come home. I was a latchkey kid. I had to come home to the empty house.
At what age?
8, 9, 10.
And you had a key?
I was a latchkey kid.
Damn. I'm gonna leave that one alone. You see, you got the whole panel quiet in the motherfucker. They're like 8 years old with a key.
I had to get
my damn daughter 15, and she ain't got no kind of key.
I went to go pay. We used to have to go downtown to pay the phone bill. I did that at 10 on the bus. See, you gotta understand though. I had to go back and dissect why I was so young doing so many things that I had no business doing. But my mom was preparing me because not too long after that, my mom passed away. I was 14 when she died.
Okay, so that's not a normal thing.
Yeah, that's not a normal thing, but that's what I experienced because I know now why. See, because I done did that work. I know now why. She was preparing me. It wasn't too long after that she passed away.
Wow. So yeah, it's like we say, does being a breadwinner determines if you man of the house or not? If you made more than your man, I think AJ answered this a few weeks ago. If your man made less than you, would you still let him consider him being man of the house?
Of course. I'm looking for a visionary leader, right? That can guide us to the future, through the future. God first. He loves me, loves God. Then he loves me. And we go on. And I'm looking for a visionary leader. So of course money will come and go. Just because I meet him and he may make less, together we may be able to ascertain double, tenfold.
Okay. So you say you're looking for a visionary leader, but what if he blind?
Baby,
That goddamn awesome. Hold up, y'all.
Quick. See, man of the house doesn't mean dictator. It just means that I'm willing to take on the responsibilities that my family shouldn't have to. Should you have to accept that you gave me a suggestion and I took it and I followed it, and then, hey, you had freedom of will? You didn't have to come with me? No. See, that's what makes me the man of the house, because I will agree to the fact that even though you suggested it, I chose to go with it. So therefore, the blame is on me. That doesn't mean my life is all about sacrifice. No, what it also means is that when we have an argument or a debate in which we can't necessarily come to a agreement on or think the same, that you trust and believe that even if it's not the way you want it to go, it's still going to be good for the family. See, I know I'm the man of the house, and I love for a woman to question it or ask me about it, because it clearly means that you don't trust me. See, I'm not going to bait or argue with the woman if she comes in my life about man of the house who runs the show, because if you have to question, then you don't trust me. It's all about trust. That's all it is. And my question is, if you can't allow your man to run the ship, then what you got him in the ship for?
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You expect, the expectation is when you come in, I'm gonna sit back and let you run the ship. But then, if I see us going, of course, we got a problem.
I mean, and I don't want a woman that, I like a relationship that is a true partnership, but at the end of the day, I have the final say so.
That's
Right.
it.
So if you,
And that's
if,
pretty much what he said. You know.
yeah, and if you see me moving in a direction that's not
Right.
good, then be like, say, babe, I see you, I see your vision, but
Right.
have you thought about this
Here's
way
what
or that way?
let
And I'd
me
be like,
offer you a
no,
different
you're right.
perspective. Think about it
But he was saying
look,
even if you question it, that means you don't trust me.
but that's what dude's saying.
That's what Lil Twist was saying.
He say if you question,
Like
that
if
means you
you
don't
say, here's
trust
the
me.
vision, and I say, hey babe, what if we and give a suggestion or offer a different perspective, I'm questioning it and I don't trust you.
Yeah, now he was a little overboard out that scenario, but I'm like Austin. Like I wanted to a couple months ago, I was dead set on sneaking to the car lot and coming home with this SUV. And she overheard me saying it a lot. And you know how when you searching something on the phones and y'all hooked up to the Wi-Fi, you can kind of see what the person searched last. And she saw I was really looking at that vehicle off and on for about 2-3 weeks. And she was like, no, we don't need no vehicle right now. The old me would have got it anyway. And, whatever happened. I would have found a way to still make my decision okay. But I was like, okay, the fact that you're saying we don't need something, I'm going to go ahead and take that advice. So even though I'm head of the household, captain of the ship, whatever you want to call it, it's a communication thing, because sometimes I could be so tied up on thinking we need this when she done sat back and thought about what an alternative. And we do that all the time. So when she comes and if her idea seems a little bit better than what I've thought of, which every now and then it does, I take, I'm like, okay, we're gonna try this your way. But I make sure she knows.
That don't change the fact that you still lead the house.
Right. But I let her know this decision we making is yours, So if it backfire, we going your way, we doing it your way. Hold up.
The Black man provides more in a Black home than just financial support. He provides direction, guidance, gratification, fulfillment, and discipline for our children. Those are the principles that are missing in our home today, which is why our children are savage in the streets. We see those children out there sometimes acting wild and uncivilized and disrespectful because they don't respect anyone, because we didn't teach them any respect. We didn't know how. And a lot of times we look at them and we say, yeah, they're out there doing this, and we act like that they dropped down out of the sky. But those are our children. We birthed them up out of our womb. They belong to us. And we are responsible for them. And for every child that's out there out of control, disrespectful, ignorant, and uneducated, they have a black mother somewhere who failed to do her job and a black father who failed to do his.
So it's more than just
Now I do
financial
believe
support.
when it comes to a household, the responsibility of raising children is put higher on the mother than the father. The responsibility of a child's upbringing
You can
is
you gotta what she said don't explain why preacher kids do go crazy like they do.
right. No. But I'm just saying, no, that is definitely no. I get that for real. But what I'm saying is, when we talk about households and men in the house and things like that, it has to be a full circle thing. Every time we talking about this whole time we've been talking about household, it always leads to money and financial stability. Always leading there. I have not heard yet the development of the children being a part of the man being the leader of the household. Because the development of the children always lands on the mom, the mother.
Majority of the time.
It's stripped because the mama stripped. They're out of control because the mama let them be out of control. But if we're talking about the man of the household, everything is under the umbrella. Everything under the roof is under the household. The kids, the wife, the dog, the cats, the table, the money, the bacon. Everything is under the household.
Let me explain that. That falls with who's with the child the most. If you look at traditional, the man was out there in the field, the woman was at home. So that's why the responsibility fell on her. Now, when nowadays where both people are working, it still is going to kind of fall on whomever has, I guess, the lighter load at work, or whoever has that time to work with the child. But majority of the time, the reason that was a woman's so-called, if the responsibility fell on a woman, is because she was mostly at home. That was a traditional. But now that everybody's working, and the mother is more likely, what you guys brag on being the most educated. So if y'all the most educated, and that man, 8th grade education, working construction, who would you rather have going over the kids' homework and teaching them things? The 8th grade dropout that's working construction, or the woman with the most education?
Now, I ain't talking about teaching no algebra, none of that. I mean, when we start to realize our child is getting out of control, it can't be, well, your mama let you do whatever the hell you want to do. You work construction, you strong, you should have been done jacked this nigga up by his collar and said, look, but now that he's out of control, it's your mama's fault.
Yeah.
Well, if your mama wouldn't let you, but when you still go home, you still see the same kid that I do.
Not necessarily, because I don't know how your household is, but growing up, we act a certain way when dad was at work, but when dad was at home, he didn't see it. Mama would have to threaten us by saying, "I'm gonna tell your dad when he get home. I'm not gonna do nothing when your daddy gonna hear about it." We scared him up.
So Anthony, I know that we kind of touched on that before, and I was saying the same thing that Black is saying, that the majority of the time the woman is with the child, right? So of course the man comes in and he has certain responsibilities and part of rearing that child, but a lot of the influence actually comes from the mother in a lot of cases. That's why Mother's Day is so much more popular than Father's Day, right? So even in our household, I feel like I have Jackson a lot, and my wife has, Jackson quite a bit, but Jackson follows her mom a lot, and she emulates things that her mom does versus what I do. And I don't know if it's because she's a girl or what, and she just identifies with that but that's where she gets a lot of her understanding about certain things that, you know, I teach you how to punch folks in the face and all that kind of stuff, and her mama do too sometimes. But a lot of the stuff that she sees her mom do, she tries to emulate that.
So that's why a lot of that blame comes on the mother.
I get
Not
that.
saying that
To a
it's
certain
fair.
degree, I get it. I mean, I understand it.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
totally understand and respect double standards. I don't question them. It is what it is. When it comes to
Right.
double standards, it is what it is. I don't ever try to argue with it.
Mhm.
But back to what AJ was saying, in them preacher kid situations, that definitely do be wild to me. But we touched on
But
that
it's just
about a
like,
week
so
or so
you can
ago.
try all you can. You can do all you
Yes.
can with kids, you know. And they're
Yeah,
gonna do what they want to do.
but I feel like that's true. But that's when they're grown. When they under
Mm-hmm.
your roof, baby, you control that when under your roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and see, the thing is with a lot of preachers' kids and all that stuff, they have to uphold a certain standard in society and in the members' eyes, right, while they're growing up. So they're somewhat under a tight
A
rule,
microscope.
if you will.
Microscope,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when they get out of that environment, then that's when they start letting loose, you know, and
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard to
Right.
rein them back in because they had to be a certain way, which was not the way that they wanted to be, right?
Right.
So,
Square.
Not able to experience much.
right, not able to get out and do
They
the
went
things
to
that other
college
people are
and got
doing.
turned out. I know a lot of them that went to college and got turned out. And not even the preacher kids, even the ones who, like AJ said, if you keep them on a strict, don't let them do this, don't let them do that, don't let them go here and there. A lot of them ended up getting turned out at school.
Yeah, they turn up.
Yeah, they got turned out, turned up, and got turned out. I'm talking about they ended up doing everything. They were the biggest sluts you wanted to see. So you got to let the kids breathe a little bit. We ain't saying let them go out there and spend the night with no boy at 16 and 15 years old, but
Right.
you can't have them under lock and key 100% either.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that
Baby, you
comes with
got
discipline, though, raising them and being disciplined where they don't want to do none of that stuff. If they had the freedom, because you know, kids want to do what you don't want them to do.
right.
You know, so I let mine pretty much, you know, do stuff within a range, but you know, they
Women
not.
trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way.
What does that mean? You can't be a leader? Because a lot of women look at that like, no, you know, I can lead in my household. I can do this in my household. What does that mean?
That's not how it's supposed to be, and that's why we bump heads. Generational curse, and how society have placed our men, and women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider. And so then now you are so bad, you can't be told nothing. That when the right man come, you lose him because you're trying to be the man.
Can we be equal?
Of course. Because at the end of the day, I'm the neck, my man's the head. So he can't make any moves without his wife. It all works together. But you can't be the head of the house. You got to let the man be the head of the house. But it's a generational thing, and it's what we've been taught. Stand up, be strong. You can still be a queen. Queen plays a part. The king needs his queen.
Yeah. So now, who made it, or who made the rule or the standard that the man is the head of the house?
That came from the man, like going out there working, bringing home the bacon, being a protector, being the provider. So it was a lot on him. That's why when I was watching, what's that show where they went to this town and they can't get out. The black guy who played on Best Man.
Oh, From.
When that man wife got killed by that demon out of kids and the wife got killed, he was mad at that man because this was your family. You didn't protect me.
And he was at the bar drunk.
He was at the bar drunk, so they beat him. They came down on him because he's the man. So when you take on, that came from a man looking at a woman, taking her on, creating a family, and providing for them solely. That's what made him man of the house. He put them in the house.
I also believe
where did it originally start at?
Where I feel like also it originally started was because, and I'm not being funny, there was a time where women didn't even have rights. Men made up everything. Men made up the rules. Men were the ones that voted. Women couldn't vote. Women couldn't work. Women couldn't do this. Women couldn't do that. Men made up all of the rules.
Right. So he had the power. And
men had the power. Women couldn't do anything. Man. Women couldn't join the army. Women couldn't do this. Women couldn't do a lot of things.
They gave that back in the day. The man had the house.
And the
woman moved in with him.
So
and I think
did it originally start in the Bible?
I don't know about the Bible.
Did it?
I just know in regular life.
Did it originally start with religious teaching?
No, I don't think man of the house did.
I do. I feel what I feel. I feel what Austin is getting at is because
they didn't really have
religion and Bible is a whole different topic in conversation. But I do believe that is where men believe it all starts. That God gave them that power. That God put them in
dominion over
everything.
That's why they said
he gave them
it's not really head of the household. It's the man is the head, right? So that's what it says. The man is the head.
In the Bible.
Yeah, and then the woman, and I'm paraphrasing.
Change is real. But
I'm paraphrasing, but it says the woman follows, right?
Right.
And so, and that's why it says men are the priests of their home, right? So they're supposed to be the teachers and leaders of their home. And the women are supposed to stay silent. And if they have any questions, then they go to their man. So was this, and a lot of people feel that the Bible was written or constructed as part of controlling the slaves, controlling how you think, controlling how you act.
That's why I said that's a whole nother topic to deep dive in.
That's why I feel like when they start putting the word household, I kind of have to piggyback off of Anthony because men had the houses, women didn't. Men had the tools and the know-how. Women didn't have no education; they couldn't work. So that man had the house. He went about the house because he had the income. He brought her in the house and put about 10 or whatever, 8 to 10 kids in it. And he went out there, made the bacon, brought it home. She cooked it. So that made him head of household because even when you're filling out your taxes, who's the head of the household? Back in the day, men were head of household because they were the breadwinners, But
and because women weren't even allowed to have the opportunity.
Right. So
I do believe that's why. Oh, go ahead, Alistair.
Yeah, women couldn't own anything.
Women couldn't.
That's right. They could not own anything. So the men owned the land. They owned the slaves. They owned everything. Everything was in the man's name. So that's why he was the head of the household.
And that's why in 50s and 60s and 40s, it wasn't easy to leave your husband because you left with nothing. It didn't have to be no prenup. It had to be signed by no judge. You had nothing when you got there. You did not work. Your husband did everything. So you were financially stuck, emotionally stuck, and everything else. You couldn't really. So when it was time for women to branch out and have women voting and fighting for rights to do this and fighting for rights to have raises and fighting the rights to have the same amount of salary as their male co-workers and things like that. Right. When you count, I thought I started to say that when women had to fight for certain things like that, it do put you in a mindset of, I can be the head of my own household. I can do this. I can do that. When you had to fight for stuff like that. I'm not talking about finding the right man or fighting your head of the household and competing. I'm not talking about that. I'm meaning if you are
I don't need you. I got my own money, got my own house. It's whatever. Oh, and I know women who couldn't wait to say that. To this day, it's still one that just can't wait. The ones who came from poverty, when they finally get a decent job, finally get a nice car, finally get a nice little apartment or townhouse or something, boy, they on there showing their keys and showing they can't wait to say my. You know.
What's wrong with that?
Hey, like I say, I always had something, so I never understood that mentality. But I figure you just being a productive citizen, when you have your own car, your own house, you finally got your time. That's what you're supposed to do. But when they get on there, boy, and they just bragging, like I didn't take pictures, I didn't post them. You know what I'm saying? Online, we bought this house. I didn't, but it's just that the ones who go overboard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you done move from apartment to apartment, you keep showing the same keys down. I do get that.
You get what I'm saying?
If I built up my credit and I was able to drive off the lot in a 2025 no down payment, that is something to be proud of. I was
proud of it, but I wouldn't post it on I wouldn't post it on social media. I'm a more of a private kind of person when it comes to my
social media is overrated
life.
to me. That's another topic we need to have too on the pod.
Do that because, like I say, I don't know. I don't do that now. You might see a video of us in the yard and the car might just be in the background, But as far as me
posting your
I just bought it and I'm showing that it's 0 balance. I got the key, and then you seeing a Maserati in the yard, and I got the key on top of the Maserati. I wouldn't do that. And I see a lot
posting
of
it to me is cheesy and corny. Everything is, it's everything for everybody. If you proud,
I'll
proud.
Probably send it. I'll send it to Austin, maybe you, because all us get cool. I'm like, look what I just copped, and I do help people with credit, but it's select few. And I thought about going on here saying I know how to do this, do that, and then doing credit different things. But I just stay out of, people so funny acting now. I just kind of stay out of the way of that,
But back to the Bible thing about the women and the men in the Bible. Do y'all believe that the Bible was truly written by God?
Hell no.
I believe there are some inserts in there from
men. You can say it.
Men that actually
wrote it.
But then
wrote that.
But then, when you get to the King James Version and all that good stuff, then I believe those 12 scribes that he had to come in, and 12 scribes or scholars that he had to come in and interpret the Bible when they start, taking out all of the other teachings and all of the other books and destroying them. So you couldn't have the ability to learn from anything else other than what was being written by them. So I don't.
And I bet they was men too.
And religion is a totally different thing and topic. But what I want all y'all to do, if you haven't, James Redford has a book called Celestine's Prophecy. It's one of the best books I ever read. You guys need to do it. It talks about the Lost Scroll and Lost Scrolls. And they also have a movie. They made a movie on it. But James Redford, it's called Celestine's Prophecy. They got a movie. You get a chance to watch the movie, do the movie, but the book is more detailed than the movie. And once you see that or read that, you kind of start looking at the Bible different because you're like, why did they leave this out? With certain things that other prophecies wrote, like Jesus was a prophet, but the Bible makes him son of God. He does this. He did it. It's a lot. It's just a lot. Then when I went to Jackson State and started studying like Nation of Islam, then Buddhism and Yahweh, I started learning everything. They say when they say Jesus rose again, it was really John the Baptist that they saw walking. They was cousins. They looked alike. So it's just a lot. So what I do with religion, I take what's known and popular in all of them and apply it. And there's a creator, in all the religions. So I just look at that. And just in case there is afterlife, you gotta go see someone. Faith of enough mustard seed gets you in there. Hold on a minute. This is what I was looking for. This is what he was
What
saying.
does the day-to-day look like as a husband?
The day-to-day changes, bro. It changes because the husband is the pulse of the house. You go in and you say, what's needed? Wifey needs attention. Let me handle that. Or wifey needs time for herself. I now become the sole parent. I need to make sure my daughter's okay. Everything else quiet. It changes every single day, but you have to be present. You have to be empathetic. You have to be willing to figure and find solutions in everything. Or the solution might be don't do anything. You have to kind of be like a magician, bro. Like it's hard to explain. Everything needs its time, and even that considers you as well. You need to re-energize, because if you bring certain energies to the house, then everybody suffers. So you have to be the pulse. What do I need? Not necessarily first, but if it gets to the point where what I can't give my best, then you kind of regress. But at the same time, you walk in there like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? What do I need? What do I need? It's empathy. It's always going to change. Your wife is just like, okay, look, I want to do this. And sometimes it's not the right decision. You got to then say this, you got to be an advisor. It's not one thing. It's 1,000 things. It's ever changing, but you just have to be like putty. Bruce Lee said it, like water, bro.
Be water, my friend.
You got to be water, my friend. Like there's no right answer. You just got to be there and figure it out and find the solution in all of it, and that's your job.
And so, to me, that's the definition of head of the household as we knew it, and as James lived it, as I live it, minus financial, as Anthony was saying. It's you have to adjust to make sure that house is ran smoothly, whether you take the back seat, whether you have to be in the forefront. And being a man of the house from where we came from, it's no such thing as I'm tired. You're tired, but this needs to be done. And Austin and I, no matter how tired we are, if that door needs to be fixed to save the family, so won't nobody in the neighborhood come in that house, we can be done work 16 hours. I've been up 3 days. If the wife say, hey, the latch is broke on that door and you know anybody can come up in here, we're gonna find that strength to go to that store, get that latch, come home, put that latch on, take us another shower, go to bed. You know, it's no such thing. Oh, I'll fix it tomorrow. I just lay out on the couch. That's not being a man. If the wife come in here right now and say, hey, that window's broke and I gotta find a way to either patch it up or put something around there, you know, that is my job to protect. So to me, that's what man of the house is. It's deeper than finance. It's deeper than that. But when a lot of people see that it's finance and then it's control, I pay the bills, I make the most money, so he has no say so. And the women who think like that, like AJ say, they're not team. They're not in it for the team. And 8 times out of 10, she don't love that man. Because anybody who keeps hollering my and I, you're not in it for the real reasons. I'm with this joker until Larry get the money and say let's be together. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust a woman who treats me like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, so they're not a team. You know.
You know, and going back to being that protector thing, you know, not only just protection physically, but also emotionally, and guarding your spouse from any emotional harm and hurt from whatever source is coming from, and especially from yourself. So you can't be an abuser and a protector at the same time.
I don't know. Our parents whipped our ass but protected us at the same time. It's called tough love.
You cannot be an abuser and a protector at the same time.
If they get out of line, I'm gonna leave it alone. But yeah.
All right, Corey Holcomb.
I get what you're saying. Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, Y'all don't care what y'all say about me. I don't care what y'all say about me. I don't care what no motherfucker say about me. Cause I got what it takes. I got what it takes to get any woman. And that's $40.
$25.
They don't care what y'all say about me.
Wow.
I got what it takes to get any woman. I got what it takes to get 98% of any woman. And that's $40.
Boy, I had to mute myself. I was hollering.
Man, if y'all want to hear some misogynistic stuff, listen to Corey Holcomb.
Oh, I can't stand
and
it.
his-
He's
and
an
his
ignorant
interview.
fool.
And how he talked about, hey, yeah, sometimes you got to discipline your woman. When he was
Now,
talking to Cam Newton in that
back in the
interview.
day, now we used to joke, but back in the day, Austin and my motto was, women are just like children. Every now and then you got to knock them back in place.
No.
I always throw Austin in there.
Don't do that.
We used to say that we didn't do that, but that used to be our saying.
Austin
Women
said,
are
wait. I don't remember that shit.
women supposed to be barely seen and rarely heard. I'm just saying.
We have traveled in a time
But
machine.
growth.
What is going on?
That's growth. That was high school shit. But and early college.
What year was high
I
school?
don't know about that one. I can't.
What year was high school?
No, cause see, I was raised in a household where my mama used to get her ass whipped, so that didn't resonate.
You said they were clacking. You said they was clicking their heels too loud. When I used to let certain ones say stuff, you say, "Hey, ain't she clicking her heels a little too loud?" And then I have to toughen up.
No, I can't get with that one.
Oh, okay.
DJ Black, what year was high school? DJ Black, what year was high school? I'm gonna see if I got any of that stuff still on video, and I'm gonna try to edit it and post it. But yeah, growth is a beautiful thing. Growth is a beautiful thing. But on the same note, some of the stuff Corey be saying about certain it fits certain females. It fits certain ones, but he bitter right now. I just feel like he's very bitter. But
yeah,
you know,
he is, and then a lot of his does, I think, stem from hurt, because he said that he prefers to take on a woman that doesn't have much going on.
Oh, so he low self-esteem.
Yeah, he like dealing with women with low self-esteem, nothing much going on, because he can easily control them.
But back in the day, he used to have top-notch women.
And
look at the women he used to date like 7 to 8 years ago.
But his mentality may not have been that at that time.
Maybe one of them hurt him. I think so, because when he talks, he's bitter. And he ain't used to be like that years ago. I've been following him for a minute. And he didn't used to talk like he talk now. It's like, right, he started changing 100%, like maybe right around the time, a year or so before Russell and Sierra got together.
Yeah,
after
I think
that,
right after his divorce. Yeah, so
that was around that time. He lost his mind after that.
I had actually dipped out. Who y'all talking about?
Corey Holcomb.
Oh, okay. I thought y'all changed to a different person.
No, we still on him. But yeah, he just not the same. Pick this one, y'all.
Growing up, my dad is the man of the house. There's no conversation about that. There was a respect. There was order to the house. It didn't mean that we loved him more or we put him at a higher pedestal than my mother. But as a leader of this family, of what happens to this family, we looked at him. But it fell more responsibility. It wasn't a pride thing. It wasn't an ego thing. Like if we only had one meal, my father wasn't the one eating it. If we were cold and there was only one blanket, my father wasn't the one using it. If there was a fire in the building and me and Jessica were in a building lit on fire, my mom and dad are not going to be sitting outside discussing, okay, who's equally going to go into the fire right now. My father would say, stay here, I'm going in. And I think people misconstrued this idea of like it's worth more, but it's actually not. He put us above him.
Yeah.
And so like it just broke my heart that I'm watching people say like, oh, the man in the house, like, yo, that's fucked up, like they should be equal, like they're shitting on them. And it's like, whoa, hold on, did you just really take everything that they sacrificed and threw it back in their face?
He praised his dad. Not that he loved him more than the mom, but his dad did a lot for the family, you know, and that's how a lot of that culture thinks till this day. They're gonna still, they don't do that. Mom got the most money, so she's head of household, and dad can't tell her nothing. They care. It's a respect thing. When a man is in the house, you respect him.
So speaking of men in the house, and we were just talking about Cam Newton, which brought a topic to mind when he had that woman, the doctor, that because that's where Corey Holcomb, his interview went viral, talking nasty about her. I can't think of her name. The doctor was on there, and she was speaking to him about you're having children with all these different women.
Right.
You're creating
I
broken
remember.
homes. So do y'all believe if you have 3 or 4 baby mamas, 3 or 4 kids, 3 or 4 separate households, are you the head of those households, or you're only the head of the household you're living in?
You're only the head of the household you live in.
So do you believe in what she said of you've created broken homes with those homes?
Like AJ say, shit happens. Relationships don't work. Children come in the play. It's like y'all happy right now, but if y'all break up, you know, and now it's a broken home, but it wasn't planned to be a broken home.
Right.
So it just depends on how that went.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's look at what a broken home. What is a broken home? You know. So yeah,
that devil's advocate gonna poke his head. That snake gonna poke his head now. What is a broken home? What is your definition of a broken home? Is it a home that was once put together? Because if it never was a home to begin with, how could you break it?
Exactly. So, you know, people that are having kids out of wedlock, and just because you're living together, that doesn't mean you actually have a home. You have a
home is a home.
Are you saying it's only a home if you're married?
A chair is still a chair.
It's only a home if you have a foundational relationship that is leading towards building a house. You have what you have right now. You have dirt. You have dirt when you're in a relationship and you're not really building anything. You can have a plot of land. And that's
but if
all
you ain't putting no house on that land, you can just be out there slinging it. Ain't that right, AJ? You can just be out there just having sex, and it don't matter. So that's not a home.
It said what now?
And so if you have a plot of land and there's anything built on it, then it's not.
That's not a home. So y'all need to start. Y'all need to stop calling broken homes because somebody had sex and made a baby. That's not a broken home.
Right. That was just a piece of land.
Well, my thing is, if you were in a relationship with that person and you did not have any intentions on marrying that woman, or you knew that that relationship probably was not going to last, why did you put a baby in that woman?
How did you know it's not going to last?
Because she laid down and spread them things, and then stuff happened. That egg got fertilized.
So you created life with this woman, and you knew this is probably not where I'm going to make a land. This is only land.
They created a life together because a man can't do it by himself and a woman can't either.
But the man provides the child to the woman.
No.
That woman got to gap her leg. She got to get permission.
No. First of all, the sperm has to make it to the egg, right? And it has to be the right time of the month. Everything has to go right with the woman. So the man can nut in her all day. But if that time isn't right with the woman, then the
zygote not gonna get fertilized.
Right. So it's not gonna get fertilized. So
and we're gonna have a big old talk about that because everybody want to know who's to blame for all these bastard childs the children that's around here. And it's a double. You know, he wasn't responsible, but at the end of the day, if it was consensual, that woman gave permission. And like y'all said, I think AJ said this, the fact that they laid down unprotectedly, both parties knew that there was a chance that a child could be made. So who is more to blame? If I let somebody in my house, I allowed them in my house, and they tore up my house, or they brought dope in my house, they gonna blame me because I let them in. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well, are you letting in a stranger or are you letting in somebody you trust?
I'm letting in somebody I trust, but maybe they didn't trust me the same. Maybe they didn't see me the same way. It's like Drake. What did I miss?
And we can't. And Anthony, you can't use that analogy because a lot of people that are laying down and gapping their legs, they don't trust the person that they're with. Some of them even
they just want to have sex with them. They look good.
I was going off of the analogy he gave. I wouldn't have made that analogy. I was going off the analogy that he gave.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, well, you have to trust.
I definitely wasn't saying that. I definitely wasn't saying that. But if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. If me and you are in a relationship,
wait till the next podcast.
Okay, period.
No, I'm just kidding. Go
yeah.
I'm going to say this topic could definitely be next topic. But if I'm feeding off the trust thing. If I'm in a relationship with a person and we have a baby and that relationship do not work out, I'm not talking about no one night stand. No, I'm talking about me and this person in a relationship, and me and this person don't work out. I get in another relationship and get pregnant again. Me and that person don't work out. I get in another relationship and get pregnant again. That relationship work out. That does not make sense to me. That is not logical living to me. That does not make any sense for men or women. Yeah. You and that woman didn't work out. You go get with another one. I'm putting it on both parties. Since we talking about the egg fertilizer, I'm putting it.
Who's the common denominator?
It's bad on that woman, though.
No, if we gonna put,
it's gonna be a little bad on that woman because you stuck with all them damn kids. You stuck with all them damn kids.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I'm talking about households and things of that nature. You and that woman don't work out, you get the next woman pregnant. You and her don't work out, you get the next woman pregnant. You and her creating all these kids in all these homes. So you can't be
you just got some irresponsible parties.
And it's called shit out.
I'm confused. Are y'all saying so because I'm saying this about the man? Y'all saying so for what reason? So
I'm saying you have irresponsible parties. Both parties are irresponsible. So you know what's gonna happen if he ain't shooting it in your mouth, you go and shoot it inside.
Yeah, if you ain't swallowing the kid, but had E-Day, they'll swallow a kid and get pregnant. So it's
y'all take it now, hell every time.
And then and now they done stop the vacuum cleaners after a certain time period. So you can't do that if you don't get the plan B in time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and now what's going to happen is we're going to have more and more bastard children, and that's what's going on now. Because at one while it had decreased the amount of bastard children being born because we had the option of abortion. They're taking that away and making it so hard, and there's so many rules and stuff now. So now people who can't afford children are having more and more children, which is driving up the poverty rate. So it's like it's a lose-lose situation. But we're gonna have a discussion because everybody want to know who's to blame.
Smoke. I feel like men we do because I feel like men with topics like this, men like to duck the smoke.
I don't care about the smoke.
I want all the smoke.
Ducking the smoke. When it comes to that,
I want all the smoke. Y'all already know that.
I inhale it and blow it out. But I saw some folks this weekend that were protesting abortion. I was like, man, what? Why are you protesting abortion?
And they be right outside the abortion clinic.
Y'all aren't out there adopting kids.
Yeah.
Oh, see, baby.
I don't get it. And we had a long, heated discussion about the Roe versus Wade. And it's just the thing, the biggest question is who's to blame for all the kids. Women having access to sex, like I said, men have access to relationship, but that woman is the one who says, let's have sex. So should she be responsible and have a condom if she knows she's gonna be promiscuous and she loves having 3 and 4 different guys in a month? Why she can't say if you don't have a condom, we can't have sex? And I've been with women who would say that, hey, no condom, no sex, and then we just sit up and look at TV all night. Go home with blue ball.
And you know, now you can't use the vacuum cleaner as a form of contraceptive anymore. Then it's even more important now to
What is the vacuum cleaner?
where they suck that baby out your uterus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The AV,
Put it in that
as
put
they
it in that
call
little
it.
machine. Yeah. So yeah. So now you can't use that as contraceptive anymore. So now it
There are
is.
going to be more kids.
Yeah, and so you have to be more responsible. And
Right.
you're gonna have you're gonna
That's what I
have
was
to
gonna
take.
say. I was saying, there got to be more kids if we're more responsible.
Yeah, you got to be more responsible
The turnoff to me
take on
was,
that.
but coming up, if a woman had condoms in her purse, I looked at her some type of way. But now they have to have them, you know. But back then, I see a woman with she got her own goddamn condom. When I used to have to run to the store and get them and come back, that didn't sit right with me.
I went over this chick house one time, and she had a drawer full of condoms. I was like, "Bitch, how much fuck you be doing?"
Hey, hey, look, like Prince said, she had a pocket full of horses, Trojans, and some of them used.
Like, God,
but it was Saturday night. I guess that makes it all right. Shit. Nah, that was the biggest turnout. You have a condom? Damn, I forgot them. Oh, don't worry about it. I got some. Whoa.
Like, which size you want?
Yeah, the biggest turnoff in America. I'm like, I ain't even want to do nothing. I'm gonna get them go.
Now, and then, but what we should have been thinking is, oh, they really protect themselves. They are really responsible.
That's what that is. Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, but you know, some people mind go the other way. Man, you know, she got all these condoms, so she must be running.
Who else? Who else? I'm just the one with her tonight. She probably was waiting on Anthony. I'm the one to get out, but she with me, so you know. That was the biggest turnoff for me though, man. A woman with condoms, bro.
Yep. We've reached the top of that hour.
Yeah, we're top of yours. But we gonna shut it down in a minute. We're gonna watch 1 or 2 more videos, let Anthony and AJ speak on it. But on that, what we say, Austin, since you're gonna get out of here, it's happening, so we might as well what?
Might as well speak about it.
Might as well speak on it. People don't like it, but it is what it is. It's going on. Appreciate you coming out, man. Yeah, next week we're gonna get with Anthony and see what AJ talking about. And but look like we need to tackle who's to blame for all these bastard children y'all running around here having.
Yeah, AJ said she ain't got nothing to say about that.
Really
she like men that populate the world.
Yeah, I mean, she said they on there too. You know, she say like Lotto, she don't care about his body, his bodies. It don't matter. But it's different when women have them bodies. But that's another topic too. So just let me know when y'all ready to discuss that one, because that one deep. But on that note, Austin, hit at me about a weekend, man. Did you tune in Saturday, Austin?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I think like the next 2, I'll be more on what we was listening to, the Ready for the World and Prince and all that. I touched a little bit on the time and stuff, but Jesse Johnson and all that coming soon.
Oh my girl. All
Dang.
right, cool. That was my jam. All right, man. Y'all go with it.
Can you help me?
All right, awesome.
All right, awesome. Later.
Man of the house. Some people think man of the house means a stubborn old man who comes home from work, expects his wife to put his slippers on his feet, and nobody can have dinner before him because he's the man. That's actually the opposite of what a man of the house is. A man of the house is the one who comes home latest from work, who's working all day to provide. He's the one who goes to work early in the morning while his family's still peacefully sleeping. He's the one who will eat a cold dinner or a microwave meal while his family has eaten a nice oven-baked meal. A man of the house is the one who will put himself last in every single way, but be the first to run into a fire. That's what the man in the house is. And yeah, we are the men of the house.
So the protector, you know what I'm saying, the provider, put himself last to make sure the family is good. So he's all about family. That's one of the main definitions that I'm getting out of man of the house, besides being the breadwinner.
Yeah.
But now it's harder for men to so-called be the breadwinner. Because now everybody wants 50-50. They say, you have to move somebody in order to live. And I'm not a fan of that. I was telling somebody else, I can't do that business shit because I ain't finna be with nobody I don't like and that I can't stand to look at them. And but we living good. We living good, but I can't stand them. No, I can't live like that. If I don't like them, I can't be with them. I can't do that business shit. I know a lot of them now getting together because the lifestyle and all that, damn that lifestyle. I'm gonna work to make sure I'm able to live the lifestyle I want to live. It's more than enough streams of income that I can go out there and create if I want to live a certain way by myself. But I can't be with nobody I don't like just because we live in the lifestyle. I'm sorry, I can't do that. So marriage will never be no business for me. Cohabiting will never be a business for me either. I can't do it. I like living my life. I like being happy. And with me watching all these people dropping young and whatever, no, I'm finna live my life. I'm not finna be miserable. You have to sit out in the car for an hour, 30 minutes before you go in the house because you hate being there. I'm not finna live that. I'm sorry. You know, I can't do it. And it's a lot of men comfortable with sitting at home playing video games while that woman working and they drive her car and be late picking her up. I just can't do that.
But we know
and
that's not the head of the household for sure.
He ain't head of the household, but sometimes, like I say, she might make him head of the household. Because he putting it down, and she was raised to respect the man who she let in her house. Now you do have, like Fantasia was saying, she was raised like that, and this other lady said the same thing when it came to head of the household. Hold on, let me see.
You okay being the breadwinner in a relationship?
I'm not the breadwinner in a relationship.
But would you be okay if you were?
I'm not. There's no man I know from you. He got a regular job. He work at a warehouse. He is the head of the household. He is the breadwinner. Now, this is the way I was raised. A lot of women not going to agree with me.
No, they ain't going to agree with that.
I'm cool if you don't.
The breadwinner, normally that person has the larger voice in the relationship.
Even if I make more money, it doesn't make me the breadwinner.
Oh, okay.
I am advice and concurrence.
Okay.
He is the head of the household. I may be strong-willed, I may make money, but I'm not the head of the household. I want to make his life better and easier, but I'm not the head of the household.
Shit. Some people think like that. And I know Anthony like, that bitch ignorant.
No,
But
no. I was thinking I had to catch myself because what I feel like she is partially doing, because he could still be the head of the household if you make more money. I feel like she's trying to keep his ego stroked and keep him his crown lifted, as if I make more money, it's going to take that away from him. If you make more money than that man still can be the head of your household with all of the other things that we've seen in these examples. To protect them, run into the fire, the door hinges unlocked, the door hinges falling off, you make sure that's taken care of. I still can make more money than you, and you can still be the head of the household. It was almost like she was like, no, he makes more money than me. And dog,
now how do
he
you
probably
feel
don't.
about that? Honestly, all bullshit aside, real nigga shit. Because this is a real podcast. We say what we really feel. We don't judge. That we agree to disagree. How do you really feel about that?
About if I made more money than my person?
Well, everything she said, because she was like, no matter what, he's still man of the house. Just like I said.
I just was saying that. I do feel like she's trying to make sure his
So
ego
you
is not
agree?
bruised. No, I do not.
Oh,
I do not agree. I agree that he is the head of the household. She don't have to down herself for him to be that. You don't have to take away your accolades and your financial status for him to be that. You do not have to lower yourself for him to be the head of the household. He is still the head of your household. You just make more money than dude. He's still the head of the household. You just drive a better car. He's still the head of the household. You are actor or actress. He is a lawyer or he work construction. Whatever he does,
yeah. She said he worked at a warehouse.
he worked at a warehouse, and you are an actress. Your figures are a lot bigger. That still don't make him not the head of the household.
That's how she was raised. Like her and Fantasia, they were raised like that.
I get that, but it just seemed like she was trying to downplay her accomplishments and what she brings
to make him to stroke his ego.
Yeah, and you don't have to do that for him to be the head of the house. So you don't have to do that. And if you feel like you have to, then there's a problem there, because his head of the household is going to reflect no matter what. Everything is taken care of. I don't have to worry about a thing. Yeah, I make more money, but I ain't never had to lift a finger to have my air fixing my tire, have my stuff changed in this house, the leak in the faucet. I ain't never had to think about nothing. I ain't never had to talk to no mechanic. I ain't never had to talk to no lawn care service. I ain't never had when my husband died. I know women that say when my husband died, I was completely lost on what to do in this world. My husband took care of everything. I didn't know who to call for this. I didn't know we had a cable person. I didn't know we did. So it's ways for you to be the head of the household and your woman still make more good money. Your woman still has a good job.
So to you, head of household, the amount of money you make don't determine head of household.
No, it does not.
Okay, but a lot of people see that head of household, especially the women now that's working. A lot of them come on and say, I make more money, so I'm the head of the household because I pay more bills than him.
The whole time we've been talking about head of household, all the videos and everything stems back to financial. Yeah, it all stems back to financial.
But that's what that was the base rest. Well, then we played the Romney, whatever the dude with the big nose, light skin, and then there was another one on there that was saying, a couple of them came on there saying it's about protecting the last one to eat.
Yes.
You get up and go out there and work while the family sleep, And that's that old school.
I've seen some where they be like, who do you feed first? The debate on Facebook, it always wraps around every year. Who do you feed first? Your husband or when you fixing the table, who gets their plate first? Your husband or your kids? And some women were like, my kids get first. And some women were like, my husband get first. And a man posted, I don't care who gets their plate first. Nobody touches the plate until my wife sits down. And it shuts the whole entire argument down. I don't care who gets the plate first, who gets the plate last. Nobody touched their meal until my wife sits down with her plate. Then everybody can eat. And so it just brought everything back full circle. That's the head of the household right there. It brought it back full circle. We're debating on who eats first, who eats that. All he's thinking about is everybody got their plate. My wife sits down, she got hers. Now we can say our grace. Now we eat.
So that means what, the wife eat last?
No. We all eat together. We do not eat until she sits down.
Oh, okay.
She's busy. I done came home. I'm working hard. She done put my plate down first. Whoever place gets theirs first. If I get my plate first and the children get theirs second, nobody touch their plates until my wife sits down.
Okay.
We all eat together. We all eat together as a family. I provided them food. She just took her time to cook and eat, cook it and sweating over the stove. And she's working hard too in here. So when she sits down, we all eat together as a family.
But realistically speaking, in today's time, since y'all want to throw away everything Big Mama them did, in today's time, who actually sit down as a family and everybody eat at the same time? Now, the wife and I eat at the same time, but if the kids come down later, their plates are fixed and they eat when they eat. She and I eat and we watch Shy and Divorced Sisters. We do that, but we don't pressure the
nobody
kids
really
to all
sits
come
at the
down
table
and
and eat
hold
together
hands
no more.
like Big Mama and Little House on the Prairie, and then everybody eat. So I hear him. That was cute. And it gets the browning points with the women that, you know, caught in their feelings and emotional. But realistically speaking, it ain't that many households that do that today. Kid may be finishing up homework or something, and then they come down a little later and eat, you know. But I get it. That was cute, you know. It's cute, you know. But yeah, when she sit down there, but and the way it works here, she fixed mine first. She fixed ours, and then if I haven't eaten yet, she'll still have my plate fixed, but she'll say, wait until, you know, I come down and get my plate to make sure I don't want anything else, and then they get to have the rest. So I guess I'm the one who eats first in this house. The kids eat all through the day any damn way. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat that much
Right,
until
exactly.
I'm not doing nothing. So she makes sure that when she prepare the meals, I'm either have my plate fixed, and then when I come downstairs, she'll text me or call to see what time I'm getting off. And then when I go downstairs, she'll be like, come on, I got this on. You know, she already got the TV set on whatever we're finna watch, and my plate done, you know, and she done heated it up, and, you know, we eat. Then the kids come down after that. She'll say, hey, y'all go on in there and eat. Or if she done already fixed my plate, she let them eat. But yeah, I'm gonna eat first here. So I don't know what they talking about, the kids and all that. I'm like, Monique, fuck them kids. No, I'm just kidding. But not fuck them, but the kids
And
eat
I
all
better
day
have the
anyway.
largest piece of chicken.
They go, yeah, what's it on? Everybody ate Chris. But the kids go eat anyway. You know, they done already snacked, and the kids really just eating something just to be eating, because they done already ate at school. They done snacked when they got out of school. You know, so I'm gonna eat first around this water flock. You know, my plate gonna get fixed. Now, if she want to stand up and eat, we ain't finna wait for her. She up there doing hair, on the phone or whatever. My plate fixed, so I'm finna eat. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. That was cute. That was cute. And it'll be a debate going on more about that. But yeah, man of the household is like, you sacrificing, you doing without, you making sure that family's straight. And I think we already.
The black man provides more in
Yeah, we've seen that. All right, and let's see. Seen
Hey,
him.
man
What
of
about
the house. Some people think man of the house means a stubborn old man.
Yeah, that don't mean the stubborn old man. Okay, and what this one?
Are you the man of the house if your wife makes all the decisions?
If y'all partners, we're gonna discuss everything anyway.
That ain't what he said. The question was, are you the man of the house if your wife make all the decisions?
Nobody really makes all the decisions. Certain situations, yes.
Sweetheart, we're not talking about that.
Right, we need you to answer the question.
No.
You deviate.
The direct question. If she's making all
that ain't real
the decisions.
He didn't want to answer that question. Are you still man of the house if your woman makes all the decisions, is what they asked. And he still didn't answer that question. He was just saying, that's just not realistic. Can you be the man of the house if your wife makes all the decisions? We can't go here. We can't go there. Are you still man of the house if she makes all the decisions? So that's where you hear men asking other men who wear the pants. That's where that came in at. That's that thinking. Oh, I forgot she wear the pants. You know what I'm saying? That's that old school shit, but that's where that came from.
So what is the definition of happy wife, happy life? What is that defined?
I don't believe in that. Everything wrong with that shit. Everything. I don't even know who made that. That's the worst. That's the worst rhyme I ever heard. A lot of happy life, happy wives was over there, legs gapped up for a nigga up the road who couldn't rub two niggas together or screw somebody on the job. Damn that. Damn that.
And why is that?
It's happy spouse, happy house. Both of us got to be happy in this walk fly. I ain't gonna be making sure she happy and I'm miserable. Speaking of how you were saying Big
No,
Mama, Big Daddy, them,
I don't think that
and
means that. I don't
shit.
think happy life means that you have to be miserable. I don't think that.
Hey, all right. Every time, okay, when we watched Roseanne, yeah, he was happy, but he made sure he bit his tongue, and she was more happy than him. It's just like that happy wife, she happy, and you going to work working 16, 18 hours to make sure she happy. But you working and can't enjoy nothing. I've seen stuff like this. I've seen that man wanting a F-150 and that woman wanting a Lexus sedan, and he put off what he wants to make sure she gets that Lexus SUV or Cadillac or whatever she wants. And he wasn't happy, but she was. So I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? He was cool. He wasn't, he didn't hate whatever. But I would hear him say, man, I sure like that truck. But that wife would want another vehicle where he couldn't afford the truck. And he working, and all he do is work to pay the car note and the house note and keep the bills paid. That can't be happiness. So that happy wife, happy life shit, I don't know who the hell thought of that. Shit, no. We both finna be happy around this water flock. Both. So that's how I see that. I can't believe you said that. You pissed me off saying it. My nose is starting to sweat. No, sir.
I asked a question. I didn't make a statement. I asked a question. You were triggered as soon as the words came out my mouth.
Woo! You pissed me off. Hell no! I wish I would. We both gonna be happy. She gonna be happy.
I don't remember how the question went. As soon as I said,
I don't either. All I heard, happy wife, happy life. I done forgot about that and everything we talked about.
Lord have mercy.
I done forgot that and everything we talked about. Damn, man. Happy spouse, happy house. God damn it.
Oh wow. Okay. You made up once.
I'm finna start dropping that bomb. I done found the triggers.
Sorry. I can't take that one though, y'all. Y'all silly. That'll never be. Not with me. We gonna keep a smile on our face, but I'm gonna be smiling too. We gonna be both showing our teeth. God damn it. Ain't that right, AJ?
Happy wife, happy life.
Hell no. You supposed to be on the team. Damn that. You keep her too happy, she ain't satisfied. What Bobby Womack?
You can't skip over that, baby. Oh no, sir.
What Bobby Womack said? Always complaining what she ain't got, what her friends got, and want me to go out there and get them for. But he can't be two places at one time. And then there's another video that I saw. The lady was messing around because the guy she was cheating on him because he was working all the time. And he was like, I pay the bills, I try to keep us this, I'm paying the car note, I'm trying to keep the lights on, and you messed around. But you wasn't there for me. You wasn't spending time with me. Damn, man. That's that happy wife, happy life shit.
On every episode of Cheaters, that be the thing the girl will say. You was never home. You was never home. You was never there. That will always be the thing on Cheaters. That be their go-to line. You was never there.
And you know what? That's probably why them guys be sitting at home now playing video games and don't want to work. They trying to keep out on their goddamn woman.
And so they're either their insecurities or hers.
And so now what the woman has started doing, since he's sitting at home playing video game all the time, on her lunch break, she go and get in the backseat of somebody calling their job.
Oh no!
She could have been good and go to dinner. She ain't got to always be having sex. She could be doing taking on a nice lunch.
She can eat dinner at home. She get it. They go. I talked to the guy who working at the chicken plant down there in Louisiana, and he was like, "Man, you'll be amazed at the women that's married that take their lunch breaks and be out there in the back seat, laying on a van, messing with guys, messing with their work husband."
Mm.
That's some
Y'all,
wild shit to do.
yeah, y'all some serious these days. I just sit back and watch y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy
Now
out
these
there.
be the scenarios you be talking about. I ain't never seen no woman on my job go outside and have sex in back car.
Not
Shit,
no but time.
you ain't been looking. Hey,
You right about
majority
that.
of the people that work at places like Walmart, then warehouses, Sam's, Amazon warehouse, because we had that out here.
Oh yeah, I done heard about that. Don't get me wrong. Y'all done heard about the Amazon. They call it Club Amazon.
Yeah. And the reason it's like that is because you're around that person all the time. And they working graveyard. They working nights. And so, you know, hell, then some of them supposed to be at work, but ain't at work. They may come in and do a couple of hours just so they can be with the guy, or vice versa. So if they want to do it, they can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
And that guy got money because they work together. He able to help her get her hair nail did. You know, he may help with a bill or two. Because the guy sitting at home playing the video games and post hustling selling dope, he ain't coming with it. You know what I'm saying? When she get home and get her little check and she buy his weed, you know, for him to he get high, she get him his little 40, 60 sack, you know what I'm saying, for him to smoke on for 2 weeks, for a week, you know. But that other guy, he helping her out. Hey, take this. He didn't got paid. Hey, take the $200. Go get your hair nail did. You know, go get your nail done. And she feels special. So the way she repay him is by giving him the, you know, the key. You know. So we see it. You know, but a lot of us turn the blind eye to it. But you know, but I understand, you know, that's how it gets down, you know. So once you walk in with that understanding, it is what it is. I used to look at couples that I thought was happy, and see them getting down like that, and I'd be like, dang, you know. But it's so easy now. Cheating is so easy now that people like me and the Austin, we it's not exciting because it's so easy. We lost interest. It's so easy. Back in the day, it was hard. You know, you had to plan this and plan that and that. It's so easy now because all you gotta do is just go in the inbox and hey, I'm gonna go to the store. Like they got a video of the lady. She sent the guy to the store before she come over there. She sent him the grocery list. He go buy the groceries. He go over there. They do their little 30-minute session. Then she come home with the groceries that he bought that was already at his house. There's so many ways to do it now. So, but yeah, it's crazy. And all these are different. Because also, you remember also that said he wanted to do a show about cheating and how easy it is now to cheat. But I don't think we need to be giving nobody no ideas. Cause some women sitting up here that's gonna be watching this like, you know. So,
not the men, just the women, huh?
She controls the sex. You know what I'm saying? And on the videos, it be those women. A lot of women are the ones that's really these days. A lot of women are the ones that's not really satisfied. They saying men not making them orgasm. So if a woman find a good sex partner, and that's why when we start back talking about the body counts, we're gonna break down why it's different for a woman. Women, it's a different feeling a lot of times with different men. And the more men you have, the more you have to compare it to. Whereas a man, he just mainly gonna go in there and chick and get out. Every now and then he'll find somebody who he'll say, oh, it was good, it was tight, but that's every blue moon. But a man is pretty much, I'm gonna go up and down, create friction until I spit in her, basically. That woman, being that she's emotional, she's gonna compare the different people she's been with. And I used to listen to my sisters and her friends talk. They'll say things like, such and such, he was all right, but girl, such and such, he did it to me, girl, I did this and that, I did 2 or 3 times. They compare. Where men be like, the only thing we could say is if somebody was lose how hot or wet they was. You know what I'm saying? So it's no real big excitement. But if a woman able to get 3 to 4 orgasms with this guy every time, the 2 or 3 times she messed with him, then she get with the guy she call herself marrying, and she not getting an orgasm. You know, so it's different. It's different. But that's a different topic. But man of the household, let's get back on that. And when we just got so much that we're gonna be tackling. The fall it's gonna be a chilly fall because we finna hit everything. We ain't sparing no feelings coming up. But man of the household, woman of the household, being that we all determined on here, everybody was on one accord that the money, as many of them were saying, they based it off money. Just like in certain relationships, the woman based it on he had to have some money in order to be with her. He had the 6 figures, and all that just to be with him, instead of getting with somebody that has money, that's working, and y'all build together. But a lot of women want the relationship to already be, the man to already be established. And that's why you guys are going to see more young women, because women are maturing. Just like the kids are more smarter now, like your 3-year-old is probably 4 times smarter than what you were at 3 years old, because it's just that way. Food we eating, the world is just much more advanced. Same way with maturity of women. So that's why you guys are seeing more of the 25, 24, 25-year-olds with the 35, 40-year-old men, because that man is established. She's already, y'all the most educated. So if she's 24, 25, 26, she's probably already in a profession or already educated enough to get into her profession. And he's already established. So that's less. So that's why I think there are more younger women with the older men now too, because her education, his stability, and they coming together, and they, but head of household does not depend on money now that we determined. Back in the day, I think it did, because like we all say, the women weren't working. They weren't allowed to work. The man made the money. He made the decisions. We want to go here. We ain't going there. Well, what about doing this? No, we ain't doing it. And then the woman just sit there and be mad because she couldn't do nothing. So we had to eliminate the money when women start making money. And then the women, when they start making money, it was less shit they was going to take. So now you got to communicate with that woman. Hey, I was thinking about getting this. Back in the day, you just go and you come home in a Cadillac, and she just go outside, and she didn't agree with you buying a Cadillac. You would hear her on the phone telling her friend girl or family member, yeah, he done went out there and bought that damn car knowing damn well we can't afford it. But she couldn't do nothing about it. Then when the light threatened to get cut off because the bill doubled because he had to pay the car note, she looking upside her head like, yeah, I told you we really didn't need it, but she couldn't say it. So that was back then. Now communication, if y'all notice, became the forefront of making a relationship work, is by communication. Because now you have to talk to that woman now, because she got her own money. She may not be able to live the lifestyle that you all have with 2 incomes, but she's still able to live a decent lifestyle because she make her own money. So head of household couldn't be dependent on money anymore. So then we looked at what dad actually brought to the table. That's why when we had our discussion last week, it was more about, should you choose your mate based on money? It's more that a man brings to a real man, a man that's about family, a man with some virtues, some values, is more that he brings to the table than his wallet. Being a protector, a provider, like we were saying, a fire break out, if the door need to be fixed, he the last one to eat. If it's food in the house, he want to make sure the whole family eat. That's a man.
I'm gonna give my last few remarks because the head of my household got to lay down for work in the morning. You feel me?
There you go. I like that.
So
You heard that, AJ?
I'm gonna get my
Yeah.
last few. I'm gonna get the last few remarks on my end, and I
Let's
feel like, and I won't say we don't do it every podcast. I do feel like every topic. I do feel like on this topic we definitely came around to a full-fledged agreement on what the man of the household
Everybody
is.
did, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I feel like we all came on a full-fledged agreement on that. It wasn't a debate about
And
it.
I
We
was
truly
shocked because I
understood
thought you was gonna be against it because you don't like control. So I figured you didn't care for men being head of household.
No, because we discussed that. The man in the household, you don't have to be controlling. You don't have to be
Yeah.
controlling to be the man of the household. You're taking care of things. Things are getting taken care of. I'm communicating with you. We do not have the money to go buy that new vehicle. We do not have the money to go on a cruise right now. We can plan it in the next few months, or this time next year, we'll already have the cruise paid off. We can do,
Yeah.
everything.
Now that was mine want to do, the cruise
Yes.
shit. But yeah, I get you. Right.
Communicating and just going forward, that's what makes you the man of the household. I can step in and I can still get my point across. I don't feel like we can do this right now. Here's why. So yeah. So we can go kick it out there at Bahama Beach down the way at the water park, but we cannot make it to the cruise this year. We gotta compromise and figure some stuff out. So I think my last marks are kind of just I'm glad that we all just came to a full consensus of what the man of the household is. I don't feel like anything I say is going to change from the points that we have already made collectively today.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. It's not about money. That was the main thing because coming in and looking at the post and what people were coming, it was about the money. If I make my own money, he can't tell me what to do. And I was like, that is not what man of the household is, But that's where a lot of the younger minds are at, 25, to up to 30. They were like, they make their own money, so they feel like can't nobody, a man not gonna tell them what to do. So they figured head of the household, and a lot of them have the houses or the apartment and the man living with them. So it's no way he's gonna be able to voice his opinion. You get what I'm saying? So that's where their mindset at. And nothing I say, you say, nobody can really just change majority of their mind. But it may be one or two that watch this and say, I get what they're saying. But you can't tell them that 25 bunch nothing. They like, I'm doing me, I make my own money. So he can leave if he wants to because they feel like they have options because of social media and inbox. So yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, we all agreed on that. And like I say, I'm with all y'all. We all said the same. It's not about money. It's about whoever can contribute, give the ideas. We don't need to do this now. So it's no one person. I pretty much make most of the final, but if she comes back with something that overrules me that make more sense, I'm cool with that. It ain't no, because I said it, we got to do it, But on that note, gang, until next week, we'll let you know. We'll let you know ahead of time too, AJ. I'm gonna start inboxing you all the topic days before. So if you want to do research or take notes or put something down, or points that you want to make, you can do it instead of being on the fly all the time. And and on that note, y'all, Speak On It podcast, the host DJ Black. Shout out to Austin, Lotus Flower. She was participating tonight. Terry Peoples popped in, and a couple others. And Anthony.
Shout out to Brittany Talbot.
Brittany, let me see. It was Anthony, Brittany, Lotus, Austin. George came on for a second and voiced his, but he really would have clowned. But I don't know what happened. But he'll hit me up tomorrow. He had to go. But on that note, y'all, we out. Speak On It podcast. It's happening, so we might as well speak on it, whether they like it or not. DJ Black, the host, the panel. We out. Peace.
What you thinking, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Like I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. You know, I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, you know, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You know, you start thinking about, well, damn, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So, you know, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told, don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we were even fathers. Why doesn't my father know? Is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time, they are like absolutely. So if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. You know, at one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, you know, I know, you know, I mean, you did it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So you
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. You know, it means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. You know, that's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, the, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met